Ink Ribbon.
As a Resident Evil fan, I feel deep, genuine sadness for Silent Hill fans. And I'm not just saying that to be funny, I really mean it. I just want to give Silent Hill fans a big hug, because if Capcom did to Resident Evil what Konami has done to Silent Hill, I would, like, literally be heartbroken. Wow, I really love Resident Evil a little too much. And it's not just Silent Hill, it's kind of all the Konami gaming franchises as a whole. So the reason I'm making this video is I had a weird thought the other day. I was thinking about Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid and how sort of the industry has gone, especially with Konami pursuing mobile and pachinko and all that stuff. And I just sat there and I thought, does Konami actually make more money making pachinko games? Look, we all hate Konami, and they are very, very aware of it, but we're going to get to that later in the video because it is relevant. However, in Japan, Konami is still seen as a good company in the public's eyes. To catch you up, in case you didn't know or you forgot, Konami has been having really bad PR problems in the West ever since 2014. It actually started not with games, but with their employees. They got a lot of criticism for the way that they were treating their staff, and it would be considered abusive in America, and we're not going to get into all that. But the real damage happened when, basically when all the shit hit the fan with Kojima and Metal Gear Solid, as well as Silent Hills, which was canceled. I'm sure you all know about PT by now. But yeah, by firing or separating or whatever they did with Kojima, they screwed over Metal Gear Solid fans and Silent Hill fans in one giant swoop, and it was not a good PR move, let me tell you that. Their reputation in America pretty much tanked overnight, and like I said, they are very aware of it. I mean, just look at the reaction here.
As you noticed, Hideo Kojima is not here with us tonight, and I want to tell you a little bit about that. He would not be allowed to travel to tonight's awards ceremony to accept any awards.
Okay, so now that you're all caught up, let's look at Konami as an entire company. One of the things that I learned while I was living in Japan is that Konami makes way more than just games. They're a huge powerhouse in Japan. One of their biggest industries are these like health clubs that are sort of, they're called sports clubs. I think they're like gyms. I never went into one, I'm not really sure, but they're everywhere in Tokyo. The umbrella of the entire Konami corporation is actually really big. I mean, they deal in everything from business and real estate all the way into games, amusement, entertainment, obviously. So remember that in America, we know them as a games company, but in Japan, they're like this corporate mega giant. After doing some research and really looking at a ton of articles and more business sites than I ever wanted to get into, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I now totally understand why Konami has pursued pachinko games. Do I like it? Not at all. Am I a businessman? No. Now, here's the crazy part. Switching to pachinko did make their profits go up by 230%. That's insane. I didn't know until I looked at the numbers, but whoa. It's basically almost $1 billion in sales. It's like, I think it was like 900 million in profits in 1 year. So to give you an idea of how much money they increased by, if my YouTube channel was to have a profit margin go up by 230%, I would be able to buy like a 3-bedroom house every month. Okay, so that answers that question. Pachinko and mobile made Konami a ton of money, and Silent Hill is dead. Or is it? Yes. Yes, it is. But what about Metal Gear Solid? Yes, it's also dead. So what the hell is Pachinko anyway? Well, to sum it up, it's basically gambling. It's a lot like a slot machine, but there's like different rules and there's this whole crazy thing. I'm not going to really get into Pachinko because even though I lived in Japan, I never really understood it. All I know is that they are everywhere and there's people who literally do it for a living. When I would go to work, I would see a line of people waiting to get in every morning, and when I would come home from work, there was a line of people waiting to cash out every single day. Like a lot of people. So it's a thing. And I'm sure that there's other YouTube videos that will explain Pachinko much better than I do if you're interested, so search. You know how to use the internet. Okay, but seriously, where does that leave Silent Hill as a franchise? Or Metal Gear Solid, or any of their other franchises? Konami is the publisher of Silent Hill, and technically they own the franchise. However, they are not the developer. Publishers and developers are totally different things. The publisher is just the people who get the game out, and they sort of make the calls, like, you can't do this, you have to do that, this game has to have this, because they're the ones who ultimately, you know, paid for the product to be made. But the developers of Silent Hill are Team Silent, which they disbanded a long time ago. They disbanded around the time that Silent Hill Origins happened, which that's why we got like Shattered Memories and Homecoming and all the other Silent Hill games that tend to be a little divisive among Silent Hill fans. There's a lot of arguing whether they're good or bad or whatever. I'm not going to get into all that because people get really, really testy. But yeah, so even if Konami decided to make another Silent Hill game, we don't know who's going to develop it, how it's going to be made. There's a lot of stuff up in the air. And again, Silent Hill fans, I am so sorry. Like, I really, really am truly sorry for you guys. But there is something interesting that I found during all this research. There was this Polygon article from August 2019 that showed that in Canada, Konami registered a trademark for a new Silent Hill product. I don't know what it is. Nobody knows. They just know that it involves Silent Hill. I cannot tell you any more than that. That's all I know. So I guess keep an eye out for something. So what do you guys think about all this? I'm sure I don't have to ask you that. I already know the answer, but I don't know. Some of you might love mobile and Pachinko games. And if you are a Silent Hill fan, would you continue to buy Silent Hill games after everything that Konami has done? Or are you just over it? Let me know in the comments or find me on Twitter at InkRibbonGames, and you can also join the Discord server for InkRibbon. I hope you guys enjoy this video and I hope you have a great weekend. I'm Kai Morgan, and as always, thanks for watching InkRibbon. And a very special thank you to my bronze, silver, and gold Patreon supporters. Thanks to you, I can make videos without worrying about demonetization and grow my channel faster.